Hey everyone, Spencer the Knowledge Pharaoh from Sky Sports' Ringside Toe-to-Toe Boxing Podcast and hashtag Toe-to-Toe. Listen up, give Sporting Icon a follow.
So it's now 1 day away from 2 weeks since Tyson Fury took on Francesco Pianeta, and they announced that Tyson Fury will in fact travel to America to take on Deontay Wilder. The old Frank Warren statement, it's on, all that kind of thing. And even Frank Warren said there as well, have a word with yourself. Have a word with Deontay Wilder. And the announcer, he put the microphone in front of Deontay Wilder and he looked a little bit stumbled and threw it back at Frank Warren. And Frank Warren said, it's on. And then he said that an announcement will be made either Monday or at least next week. It's now 2 weeks and we still don't have an announcement. Now, this isn't to say that the fight isn't going to happen, but clearly it wasn't 99% done 3-4 weeks ago when they said it was. Because this 1% has been dragging on, right? And, you know, they've been building this whole case about how easy it is to work with Team Wilder and all that kind of thing. Now, again, I'm not saying this fight isn't going to happen, not at all. And as of today, when Sky Sports released it, and of course I did a video, go check that one out, where Sky Sports said that Tyson Fury has not even applied for a license to fight in the USA as of today. But of course, a lot of you guys have said that Tyson Fury is in fact travelling over to Vegas this weekend. So, either way. Now, people have been saying, well, Frank Warren said it's on, so it's on. You should believe him. So it is on. It's signed. Well, it's not signed. It really isn't. If it was, there would be a date and a venue. Deontay Wilder signed for a fight, allegedly, with no date and venue, even though he didn't do it with Anthony Joshua, right? That was a whole stumbling block from Team Wilder's side at that time. We accept the 15 million. We accept to come to the UK, but there's no date and venue in the contract. Yes, we know it's end of October, early November. But we want a specific date. And yes, we know it's going to be at the Principality Stadium in Cardiff, Wales, but we want a specific date and venue. We want it in the contract. We're not signing it. But yet, here he is announcing a fight with Tyson Fury. Now, people say, Frank Warren knows what he's doing. He's a Hall of Fame promoter. If he says it's on, then it's on. Now, Frank Warren has a little history of announcing things, and they don't actually happen. Okay, plenty of shows that he puts on gets cancelled. And this isn't to discredit Frank Warren. I think Frank Warren is an incredible promoter. He really is. He has dropped the ball over recent years, but I think the ball is starting to be picked up now and he is starting to do great things again. Back when I was a kid, Frank Warren shows and Barry Hearn shows were lit. They were absolutely magical. Okay, but lately, I don't know whether it's him or members of his team, they announce things, but they don't happen. Frank Warren said, Selby versus Warrington for the IBF world title. Okay, that is coming up, and we are going to release a huge announcement as well following this one. So keep your eye on social media and the internet, and we'll let you know. 3 or 4 days later, it still wasn't even announced, and when it was announced, this fight between Warrington and Selby was going to be at Ellen Road. Well, we already knew that, and yet again, with Tyson Fury, okay, with Stefan Ferry, an announcement will be made about Tyson Fury's next opponent. A week later, we're still not hearing anything. Same with Pianeta, and this happens the world over with Frank Warren shows. This is what he does. Okay, 2 weeks now, and still no date, no venue for Deontay Wilder. How complicated must it be when it's 99% done? Let's also flip. As you're seeing on the screen, you're going to see Dereck Chisora at a press conference with Frank Warren announcing Deontay Wilder. So thank you, Sonny, for pointing this one out to me. And this was announced when Dereck Chisora, he'd come off back-to-back losses to Vitaly Klitschko, David Haye, and then won against somebody, was it Alfred somebody or other? But the next fight was supposed to be against Deontay Wilder. Frank Warren is making announcements, and you've got people here at Goldenboy at the time back in 2013, early 2013, telling Frank Warren, don't announce anything, it's not done. Deontay Wilder has just been arrested. Okay, he come over to the UK, he beat Audley Harrison, and he'd been arrested for domestic abuse of strangulation. We know about all this one, and Wilder's team, who at the time was Goldenboy, said, do not announce anything, Frank. Okay, we've got some legal issues. Deontay Wilder, he's had to be released on bail bond for $15,000. don't release anything because he may not be allowed into the country if he gets a record or anything like that. But Frank Warren didn't listen. He made the announcement. And if you don't believe me, I can read you a bit of excerpt of it. So, for Goldenboy told ESPN that no deal had been confirmed. So, of course, this is back in May 2013, that no deal had been done, and Frank Warren had jumped the gun in making the announcement. And the same guy from Goldenboy didn't quite say, oh, here it is, Eric Gomez. He told ESPN, no deal. They jumped the gun. There's issues with Deontay travelling because of the arrest. I asked them not to announce it until it's resolved. They didn't listen. And it goes on as well. And even Richard Schaefer, he pipes in as well on this one. But Gomez, he carries on for a second. I specifically told them, do not announce anything. We've just got the contract and we're still reviewing it. Right now, the fight's not looking good though. I told Powell to send over the contract when we get a contract from them, but I told them we still have to resolve the issue of the arrest and also go over the contract. And we were negotiating the fight and talking, and we went over the deal points. I said, send over the contract and we can start looking at it. They wanted to announce it. I wrote back to them and said, please don't announce anything. I'm waiting to hear back from Wilder's attorney when we need to review the contract. They asked again Thursday morning if they could announce it. I said, no, please don't announce it. They just went ahead and announced it, and now it looks like there will be an issue. Richard Schaefer, of course, a lot of you guys know him. He also popped in on this one as well. That's not something we would do. Why did he announce it when we don't have a deal? That's not a way to make deals. It's a way to kill deals. We sent them like 4 emails telling them not to announce it. And sure enough, they go ahead and announce it. They wanted a quote from me for the press release, but I wouldn't give it to them because it wasn't done. So that is Richard Schaefer as well. So this is just one example of Frank Warren jumping the gun. Even though he was specifically told, don't announce anything, but they didn't just announce it. They had a whole damn press conference with Dereck Chisora set to be taken on Deontay Wilder at some point in June. Now, don't get me wrong, at that time, that would have been a great fight. Now, yes, Dereck Chisora did come off back-to-back defeats against Vitaly Klitschko and David Haye, but he did win against Alfred, whatever his name was. And because the Deontay Wilder fight didn't happen, because of the arrest or whatever else it was, Dereck Chisora ended up taking on the undefeated Malik Scott and knocked him out at that point. Wilder had just come off of a win to Audley Harrison. And at that time, you've got people like Hatman Strikes Back saying, this boy needs to step up. Time to step up. He's got all the tools. Why is he not stepping up? And here we are, 5 years later, and we're still kind of waiting, really. It's ridiculous. But anyway, this just goes to show that just because Frank Warren says something, don't take it as gospel. Okay? He has a history of this. You don't have to look back too far. I mean, this is just one example. But you don't have to look back too far of when Frank Warren says something. Don't believe it until you see both fighters sat there doing the press conference, doing the press tour, whatever else it may be. But even then, there's no guarantee a fight will take place. But as I said, that's not to say this fight won't take place. It's just a little reminder for you all who's saying that just because Frank Warren said it's on, does not mean it's on. On this occasion, it may well be. But 99% done 3-4 weeks ago, and we're still waiting. Come on now. Come on now. Drop your thoughts below. Click that thumbs up. Subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.